It's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
Like I always said, I'm a big fan of Canelo. He's a great fighter, but I think I'm better. I think, everything that I have inside myself with the tools that I have, I'm capable of doing anything that I want in the ring. And come September 13th, I will become the first male three-time undisputed champion of the world. Simple.
The hype train for Canelo versus Crawford is in full swing, and everyone from the boxing universe is taking notice. Among the legends watching are none other than Manny Pacquiao, who had some words on what Terence "Bud" Crawford would have to go through in order to beat a behemoth in Canelo Alvarez. Pacquiao underscored that although Bud is a great technician, going up against an experienced, explosive old pro like Canelo does not present easy challenges like he's ever encountered. The Filipino great, speaking out in favor of the bout, says a lot about the magnitude and ferocity surrounding this would-be mega bout.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54, and people were like, "Oh my God, this guy's so big, Margarito!" But your speed made the difference in that fight. Well, what advice would you give a smaller guy like Crawford to fight someone like Canelo, who's a lot bigger and stronger?
Preparing like that opponents, like is not only the speed, but the techniques that you can use in the fight. Like, make sure that in your daily routine, training routine, like that, make sure that all the techniques, strategy, combination, like it's accurate to your opponent's style.
In the midst of the tempest of commentary, Terence Crawford is calm. He freely admits the greatness of Canelo Alvarez and does not dispute the enormous test ahead. But beneath that stoic facade is a keen intensity and silent self-assurance. Crawford has a sense of what he's facing: power, pressure, pedigree, but he's not backing off. Rather, Bud is training with methodical purpose, acting as if he doesn't notice the spotlight or the event. He's not here to demonstrate anything to pundits. He's here to win, and that intensity is intimidating.
Like I always said, I'm a big fan of Canelo. He's a great fighter, but I think I'm better. I think, everything that I have inside myself with the tools that I have, I'm capable of doing anything that I want in the ring. And come September 13th, I will become the first male three-time undisputed champion of the world. Simple.
In the recent press conference, Crawford dropped the serene facade and released a surprise verbal barrage. Standing nose-to-nose with Canelo, Bud made it clear this is more than just business. This is war. His words dripped with venom as he openly threatened Canelo, which marked a psychological turn. The normally composed Crawford flipped the switch and tossed the gauntlet down with raw intensity. This was not about putting on a show for the cameras. This was a declaration that he's coming to claim all Canelo stands for, and he's not going to beg about it.
You need to put a small ring, the smaller ring in the...
Hey, Matt. Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts.
Canelo Alvarez did not stand idly by. True to form for a champion, he shot back in kind with no diplomacy or hesitation. The Mexican icon made his presence felt, meeting Crawford's ferocity with that icy, cold-blooded demeanor. His reply was not about being loud, it was deadly. Canelo set the tone by making it abundantly clear that he's not here to juggle games or exchange mic jabs. He's here to dominate. The iciness of his words suggested a man who's not defending a legacy but looking to finish another's.
You know what kind of fighter I am. I always try to respect my opponents, and I think he don't did them because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al-Ashi told him, you need to do something, and he did. And now before I respect his word, because he say oh, I'm not gonna let somebody to tell me what I need to do, and he did. So, but you know me. Just I respect everybody, but if you fuck with me, so it's gonna be different.
And so the face-off ensued, stealing the limelight from all the theatrics. The exchange became heated, personal, and intense. Both men did not blink, face to face with the kind of intensity that fuels packed stadiums. Security intervened as the tension built to a boil. For viewers, it was a preview of the psychological battles that had already begun. This was not about fight promotion. It was two human beings going toe-to-toe over ego, legacy, and the right to claim best of all time.
Somebody was in a room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight. I ain't scared of shit.
Hey, I never say that. Your uncle say that, not me.
I ain't scared of shit, and you gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
After the conference, Crawford didn't hold back in a backstage interview. Though less direct, his words dripped with meaning. He hinted that when the time comes, we'll be punching, a warning cloaked in calm. There was no shouting, no performance, just the type of quiet threat that sticks. Bud's message was clear. When the lights come on, the talking stops. Each word, each movement appears calculated beforehand, as if Crawford's already envisioning how this bout will go down in his favor.
I can say a lot of negative things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. I wanna, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't want to pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're going to say after I beat him.
When he pushed you, I know you've gained weight. You look actually a lot bigger. When he gave you a half shove, how is that size feeling now?
Listen, that wasn't nothing.
That was
what I mean? That little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not going to be pushing, we're gonna be punching.
Crawford later explained his strategy in a Ring Magazine podcast episode. He dissected the plan and mental approach he's taking into this bout, focusing on accuracy, foot movement, and flexibility. Bud talked like a man who's watched every Canelo fight on tape, pointing out where opponents had success and how he's going to improve upon it. He talked about how he needs to dictate the pace, not give up big exchanges in the early rounds, and methodically take apart Canelo's rhythm. It wasn't cockiness, it was the plan of a mastermind unfolding.
Of course, I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just gotta beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then he will get hurt.
But Canelo wasn't going to let the podcast stand unchallenged. On the same program, he was sure to remind viewers that he's heard it all before. With cool confidence, he reassured everyone that his experience cannot be beat, and he's dealt with top-level technicians in the past. Canelo was certain that Bud's IQ, as great as it is, won't be enough to shatter a fighter with more than 60 rounds of championship-quality ring experience. He vowed to put Crawford's durability, patience, and poise to the test the moment they enter that squared circle.
So Canelo, Terence is naturally the smaller fighter, quicker, more agile, but he does have a 4-inch reach advantage over you. How do you plan on dealing with this?
I've been in this sport so many years. I had so many good fights in my career, and I had the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's it.
No diplomat, Canelo went further by questioning Crawford's resume. Before the hosts and listeners, he questioned the validity of Bud's previous opponents. Who has he actually beaten? Canelo queried, brushing aside names that don't hold the same significance as his roster of victims.
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and won the fight and everything, I say before he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't.
Who's
he
that
wasn't a
Postal?
great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Posta in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
Ricky Bones doesn't elite.
Okay,
He's not elite.
It's cool.
Is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite.
There is
fighter
a
in
champions,
September.
good fighters, but elite fighters is different. Wait.
So I'm gonna fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're
we're
gonna
gonna find out.
Then we're gonna
We're gonna find out.
Then we're gonna
And
fight.
don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great
You ain't
fighter.
gotta
But
tell
are
me
you
I'm
gonna
great.
find out? I hope
But I'm talking about
your
elite.
uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because it's gonna be the last. That's
It
for
may
sure.
be. It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But you know, after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look
afterwards.
at my career, never same after me.
The criticism was biting, voicing the opinion that while Crawford has appeared impressive, he has yet to be seriously tested against a fighter with Canelo's combination of timing, pressure, and power. On another occasion, Canelo made it even more personal. He likened his intentions for Crawford to what he had done with Billy Joe Saunders: complete dominance, topped by a savage conclusion. He stated that Crawford has now ventured into a place where it's not about belts or pound-for-pound rankings anymore. It's about pride and punishment.
I love boxing. I've been in this for a long time, and I like to be in this situation.
The push. Tell me a little bit about that. Did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that, and then he tried to. Maybe Turki Alashi told him, "Hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh." So and he tried to he walking me back, and that's why I pushed him.
Does it bring a different Canelo then?
Yeah, it's different.
Wow. So with that being said, what's different in the ring that night? Like, what are we going to see different, and how do you prepare differently for someone like Crawford?
Yeah, you watch Saunders fight, right?
Which one? The Saunders. Oh,
He pissed me off.
Broken
He pissed me off.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be almost the same.
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
The message was harsh. If Bud gets into the ring believing this is another battle of wits, he's in for a brutal wake-up call from one of the most ruthless finishers in the sport. Pouring gasoline on the flames, the Showbiz The Adult podcast weighed in with its take, highlighting what it says is Crawford's most obvious weakness: his tendency to change sides in the middle of a fight. In the opinion of the host, this is a habit that could prove costly in his contest against Canelo, an elite counterpuncher and timing expert. He made the case that if Crawford changes in the wrong moment, even for a brief split second, Canelo will explode something substantial. It's that kind of small window that can turn a world-class competition into hell.
I was doing some homework on Terence Bud Crawford. I was going to put together video clip of how Terence Bud Crawford loves to trade. So while I was trying to put that together, I noticed that when he is getting hit in the exchange, it's usually by a straight right. So much so that I've noticed that his plan to land a straight right. These fighters literally study Crawford and plan on throwing a straight right because he's a southpaw and he's not a natural southpaw. So they actually planned for it. It's just that Terence Crawford is so damn durable and good and athletic that even when they're landing it, he's okay. And a lot of times, he kind of make them miss. Or he'll give them his face like Sugar Ray Leonard, love him to death, and he'll step back and go back because his feet are so good. That's why I said he's a fighter. Crawford is more of a fighter than a slick boxer.
One of the greatest surprises in defection to Crawford's corner was that of Eddie Hearn, the individual who previously stood in Canelo's corner in a promotional capacity. Having worked with Alvarez for so long, Hearn is now enamored with Crawford's boxing IQ and versatility. He called Bud the most well-rounded fighter in the sport today, someone who has transitioned through weight classes not only with success, but supremacy. Hearn's respect was evident, and in this specific matchup, he believes Crawford's jack-of-all-trades arsenal is too much for even an accomplished champion like Canelo to handle.
Do you see that fight now differently based on how Canelo performed against Skull Eddie?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
It wasn't just the fact that he couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's accomplished, but the fact that he still has the desire for those training camps and those fights. But I just feel like that desire might be fading a little bit. Not because of his love for, but just because of age and like life. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like the Crawford fight will definitely get him up for it. But I was actually watching that fight thinking I wouldn't be surprised if he retired and actually didn't fight Crawford, because I don't think he'll want to lose to Crawford, a much smaller guy, just because he's at the end of the road. But the fight's so big and the money's so big, he's gonna have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
Standing behind that same faith is Josh Taylor, the former undisputed champion of the super lightweight division. Taylor didn't get overly caught up in the X's and O's, but made it perfectly clear that Crawford's well-rounded skill set is just levels above. Taylor complimented Crawford's capacity for adjusting mid-fight and managing distance like very few others. In his opinion, this isn't so much about who hits harder, it's about who can set the pace and make the other dance to their beat. With Taylor's inclusion in the equation, Crawford's popularity continues to build momentum among boxing elite.
Canelo Crawford, what's your prediction for that?
Crawford. I don't know, it's a tough one to be fair, you know, but I think Crawford definitely has got the ability and the skill to outbox him and outmaneuver him. But I don't know if he's quite as cute as and got the nuances how Mayweather done it. But it was obviously that's the blueprint. And Crawford can switch it as well, and he can do the same things as what Mayweather done. But he's just not quite as cute as it at it, you know. But yeah, it's an intriguing fight. It's certainly an interesting fight, one I'll definitely be staying up to watch.
Tony Bellew was not afraid either, putting his trust in Crawford's quickness as the tool that could break Canelo's pressure. The previous cruiserweight champ underscored how Canelo packs a truck-like punch but is not the quickest, and boxing is all about speed killing. Bellew referred to Crawford's lightning-quick hands, quick footwork, and extraordinary timing as the counter to Canelo's raw power. For Bellew, it's not a matter of survival, it's about landing first and not getting landed on at all. And in that math, Crawford's strengths may be too keen to dull.
He's not old by any stretch of the imagination. No, he's an exceptional fighter, Canelo. But the way that everyone will think is weight classes exist for a reason, and they're thinking Bud's going up too much. Bud's actually big. Terence Crawford's a big dude. I've been around him, I know him.
Yeah, fair.
And he's a brilliant fighter. Technically, very adaptive. Can do it all. Has got power. The Errol Spence fight tells you everything you need to know. The Errol Spence fight, he was unbelievable. And Errol Spence is a seriously physically strong guy,
right,
with power. Errol Spence made it the modern day Marvin Hagler. He was a force to be reckoned with. And he brushed Errol Spence aside like he was nothing. And bullied him. And once again, I predicted that fight. I said he'd stop Errol Spence late. No one's seen that coming. It's just styles make fights so much, and Errol likes to wait and be powerful. Canelo's similar. Canelo likes to wait. It has to be all at Canelo's rate and pace.
Right.
He's not going to get that way with Terence Crawford.
No, you think?
I just think Terence Crawford will outwork him, will pot shot him.
Then there was Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's next generation, who observed in Crawford the same smoothness and smarts that makes greats invincible. Stevenson not only respected Crawford's ability, but also his flexibility, a quality that could infuriate and outsmart even a man of Canelo's extensive experience. It's not only the veterans who are supporting Bud, there are young lions like Stevenson who view him as the personification of contemporary boxing excellence. With each sponsorship, Crawford's legend in the making is gaining momentum, confirming that this is not hype. It's genuine admiration from the men who understand the sport better.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, and In certain fights,
Boxing
yeah.
makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No.
Corey, how you got a decision to stop this? Because Breadman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop it.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo get to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too. So.
Finally, Bernard Hopkins, a man with decades of top-level experience, joined Crawford's corner with a message of power. Hopkins cited Crawford's boxing IQ as one of the best in the sport today. For the executioner, that means this fight will not be won with brute force, but rather with who has the faster mind and responds smarter under pressure. Hopkins feels that Crawford possesses the mind of a tactician and the heart of a warrior, two things that make him virtually unbeatable against anyone, including Canelo. His endorsement is greater than symbolic, it's strategic, and it says a lot.
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for his mind. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the first round, that I belong without showing that I am tough. I earned my position to be here. And I want to show you, even though you're being stubborn, that your time not only have came, but it's gone.
This ain't no boxing match. It's a battle of styles, eras, and ideologies. A behemoth honed in years of war on one side, a maestro of precision, rhythm, and composure on the other. Will Braun dominate the evening, or will mastery make history? Share your choice in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for all the latest showdowns, breakdowns, and post-fight drama.